So let's get into knockouts. Knockouts came out a few years ago by a guy named Bill Radler. First he came out with a regular knockout, which was 5-petal red, and it was one of the biggest sellers around. Absolutely disease-free, gets no disease, doesn't require much of any care at all. A lot of people don't even water them, don't even deadhead them, don't fertilize them. They look a lot better if you do all of that, if you deadhead and give it some fertilizer. But when I go to customers' houses, and I don't have the Neptune's Harvest in my sprayer, which is every other week, so on the alternate weeks when I just have my fungicide and insecticide, I don't even spray the knockouts. They don't need it. They never get a spot. I have one customer, he's got 50 knockouts that are this big and this wide. The two of us will spend an hour deadheading every week. So that's 2 hours worth of deadheading. So they can get really big. Well, out of the regular knockout, he got a sport, a mutation of a double version and called a double knockout, which means instead of 5 petals, now there's a second row, semi-double. So that's a double knockout. Then there was a pink sport, and then there was a pink double. Then there came rainbow knockout, but I think that was hybridized. Rainbow knockout is pink with a little yellow in the center. Then we got sunny knockout, which is yellow, and then we got whiteout, which Cindy loves. And a lot of my customers have whiteout. Whiteout is a great rose. All of the knockouts don't need spraying, don't need fungicides of any kind. Whiteout is just, it's small for a knockout. It'll only get about this high. Nice little round mount, covered in blooms all season. The buds are sometimes like a little bit tan, and then it turns to white. Apricot. So these are the knockout roses.
What is the pink one there?
This is pink double. And Snows carries all of them. I don't think the rainbow, but all the other ones I mentioned. Landscapers love these roses, and if landscapers love a rose, you know it's easy. Mediland roses, Bonica, knockouts, Easy Elegance we'll get to in a minute. These are roses that the landscapers plant, and they never go back, and nobody touches these roses, and they just bloom all season, never die. They're great. What?
How tall do they?
Most of them get about 5 foot tall and wide. Whiteout stays a little bit smaller, and I think
the yellow
Sunny
one
stays
also
smaller too.
stays.
Sunny knockout.
What's that one right next to your hand?
Daily Wild. That's a floribunda. That's been around for a long time.
Can I shrub?
No, they changed the plants on it. It used to be a shrub. Okay, Easy Elegance.
Oh.
My only complaint about knockout is that there are nicer blooms on things like English roses. So, something new came out a few years ago. Easy Elegance. This just started appearing at garden centers a couple of years ago. It came out of Bailey Nursery. They are just as disease resistant, winter hardy as the knockouts, but they really have beautiful blooms. The blooms look more like hybrid tea floribundas. Superhero. Look at the bloom on that. Looks like a florist rose.
Wow.
So really nice blooms, nice color, just as easy as the knockouts. It really depends on what you want. They're also grown on their own roots, not grafted. So it makes it even more winter hardy, and you don't have a knot to bury.
Knockout?
I think
Grafted?
knockouts are grafted, right?
You know,
Maybe sometimes they are.
sometimes they are, but
It depends where you get them from. A lot of,
I mean, this is all new.
yeah, I think originally they were grafted. Now that there are even some English roses that are not grafted. Jackson Perkins tried that for a few years, but it kind of backfired. The grafted English roses were much more vigorous. Someone tried growing hybrid peas on their own root, and they were kind of pathetic. You needed that
Oh, can I
graft.
tell Marcy's story?
Must, okay.
Okay, we know this woman who takes care of, she's does the roses at Elizabeth Park in Connecticut.
She's the curator of
And-
roses garden.
And in Elizabeth Park, there are test gardens for the AARS. So they get roses years before they go into circulation, and they test them. They give their comments on it, and after a couple of years, the best ones go on the market.
And they get this tag, AARS, All-American Rose Selection, so they're like the best rated
So
roses.
Jackson Perkins came out with a rose called Pope John Paul II. She raved about this rose. She said it was the best rose she's seen in years, a really pretty white, bloomed like crazy, fabulous rose. And she couldn't wait for it to come on the market. Well, the one they had in the test garden was grafted. The one they put out on the market was en route. And she was so she said, I can't believe they ruined this rose. It's weak, it was much weaker than the grafted one. It didn't grow as fast, it didn't get as many blooms. And she was like, they took the most perfect rose and just...
So some roses need that graft to a vigorous rootstock, and some, like Easy Elegance, for some reason they're not grafted. The drift roses, the Medellin roses, miniatures are usually not grafted. So what do we have left? We have the Oh So Easy. Okay. I am buying Oh So Easy roses for our garden for the first time this year because we have a pond and we've cleared around the pond and there's a stone wall around the pond, and I'm going to put Oh So Easy roses all around the pond. What's great about them is they're ground cover roses. They stay low. I didn't want anything blocking my view of the stone wall and the water. So we're going to do Oh So Easy, and we're going to do drifts roses, which also are here.
Yeah,
Flower
I don't think
carpet
they
is
have too many
similar.
left, though.
So there are 3 groups of ground cover roses. And there are a lot more out there, but these are the popular. The Oh So Easy, which come in a lot of colors. The flower carpet, a lot of colors, and the drift roses in a few colors.
So if you wanted to put a rose in a perennial border that's not big and deep, it
Yes.
would be one of these.
Yeah.
These are great
We
for
have,
mixing.
one I love, Peach Drift. It's gorgeous, and we have it right on the border of one of our flower rose beds. It's just, it stays small.
They're good for banks. Now, these flowers are large enough that you may want a deadhead, but some people don't. Some people just let the petals fall off, and I think it looks nicer when they're deadheaded, and you probably get better blooming when they're deadheaded. Like rugosa. Some people don't realize that if you deadheaded your rugosa, they would bloom more and better over and over again.